Hey, good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This is Odie. And Odie, if you don't mind, I'm going to keep this heater going over here beside me.
All right, well, it's on your side. So
I'm not used to 40. I had just really enjoyed this 80-degree weather we've been having.
Yeah, it was nice, but yeah.
There was a point in time that I would have argued we didn't want to have been deer hunting. As I've grown older, I've gotten wiser and realized that heat is the greatest thing.
You're not as mad at them anymore.
I'm not. I've really lost that passion to be mad at people.
Oh, man.
Good morning.
Get cold.
I saw this a minute ago, and I thought I'd show this because I think we all watched Little House on the Prairie, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, everybody did.
This is what Film Legends, and they show a picture of, that was Laura's sister.
The one, Melissa. Melissa's her real name. Laura.
Yeah. Melissa Sue Anderson is her real name, but it was, I'm blank. Well, let's just show the picture of what she looked like then and now.
Yeah.
Look at that. I never would have recognized her in that, but that was 1974, and that's what she looks like now. Not that she looks bad or anything. It's just.
Oh, no, it's just different.
No, why can't I remember her name?
Mary.
Mary. Thank you.
And that was Margie and Angie that kind of told us that one.
Yeah, I'm telling you. You want to talk about drawing a blank? If I'd have been on the $25,000 pyramid, I would have lost.
Dun, dun,
He would have been
dun,
up.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
That was. But it's just amazing how time changes us all, isn't it? When you look at this like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gray. Gonna have to get some of that. We'll got to wash that gray right out of my hair.
Now you had to go and bring up a commercial that'll stick in everybody's head. Wash that gray right out. Y'all remember that?
Oh, it will stick with you.
Yeah. And I was telling Odie before we went on, I got a Paycheck song hung in my head today. Don't take her, she's all I got. Y'all remember that? That's all that's going through my head right now. That's why I couldn't think of Mary.
Take this job and shove it.
Speaking of, that was a great movie.
It was. Had the Bigfoot monster truck in it.
Very first time we had ever seen that. For those of you who are too young to know that, but that was the invention of Bigfoot. It would run right through that time clock house.
Instead of carrying beer cans behind it, they had kegs tied up behind it.
Sure did. And that was one of those, the theories of a factory, and a guy goes off to college, he comes back, and nobody wants to listen to him, and he does stand up for the workers' rights.
Yeah.
Pretty good little show there. We do have an accident out on I-20 eastbound around the 160 to 163, right in there. An 18-wheeler's run off into the wood line. Simmons Wrecker was last called to come get that out.
Yeah, it shouldn't interfere a whole lot with some traffic, but just be careful going through there.
Yeah, you never know when they go to load it up. Also, I wanted to mention this, Sebastopol. I know we got a few folks over there near Sebastopol that watch us as we pull this up. We got a little incident there this morning. It'd be in the 16,000 block near Sebastopol. 2 vehicles. I'm sure it's out of the road by now. This was about 35 minutes ago. So if you're in there, they could still be doing some cleanup revolving around that. We want to make sure that you're well aware of that, of what's going on there. Let's see here. We did have a little bit of gunfire overnight. This would be over by the old drive-in, right in that area. No one hurt, no one injured with this. But, a few weeks ago, and I didn't write a post about this, Odie, but I got reports of about 100 rounds fired in that area. Somebody from a car going down the edge of South Frontage Road firing into the air. They didn't shoot anything, but they were just shooting in the air. So we watch that area is why I bring that up again. I've had 2 or 3 times over the last few weeks gunfire reported in that area, so something we should watch in the coming days is why I say that. So just be on your tippy toes there as we look at all that. And, of course, we're going to talk about what went on last night. That's up and coming. We look at Haiti. Boy, they're sending folks over to evacuate our U.S. Embassy. Well, let's hope
time to
everybody.
get them out of there.
Would you want to be a foreign diplomat? I don't think I would.
No, not really.
What was the guy that lost his life when Clinton
Yeah.
was?
And that was
kept,
a great movie.
Yeah, and they kept asking for help.
Yeah.
It's not my
13 Hours,
something like that.
I think is the name of it.
There you are. I mentioned before you came in, today was the day 4 years ago that it was declared a pandemic, COVID. 4 years ago to the day.
Yeah. I remember pretty close. I want to say it was the 15th that we did a local emergency in Lauderdale County. It kind of sticks with me for two reasons. One, that's because of that right there. And I called a press conference. We had a big press conference. And I don't wish this on my entire worst enemy for any reason, but I also was suffering at that time from Bell's palsy.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh boy, man, that was tough, having to give speeches and everything else, and my mouth wouldn't work right.
Well, it still doesn't, but
yeah, it still don't help.
I mean, you got the same
got no
disease,
excuse.
but you have recovered from that.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
You think so?
I hope so. I really do. I woke up. It was a Sunday morning when I woke up. My grandson looked at me and he goes, "Papa, are you okay?" And I said, "I don't know, son. I don't know." And so I started, thinking about everything and looking, and I said, "Okay, well, I didn't have a stroke."
So was it medicine that cured you? Is that how did it just go
There
away?
really is. I went to the hospital, went to the ER, and they gave me some stuff, and they don't know what causes it, don't know where it comes from, nothing like that. They just said, here's some medicine, and hope this does best. Now I went to Dr. Hall, and he lasered around my neck. Can't get too close to the cranium there, but I did some of that laser treatment, and then I used TENS units. Man, it worked. I say that's what worked. I don't know what worked. I tried all kind of stuff, but that was the toughest thing. If you've never had it, you do not want it.
I agree.
If you've ever had it, you know what I mean.
I've heard tell of it. Now, here's a nightmare. It really adds up. Bill Maher, who is a late night talk host, he's
Yeah.
urging this, but I don't think anybody's shocked by the suggestion of what he's doing. Biden. Bill Maher is suggesting that he dump Kamala Harris and pick up as a running mate who?
Well, nobody on this side wants her.
Nikki Haley is what they're suggesting, because she truly isn't what she tells she is, I don't believe. I could really see that happening. He'll probably stick with Kamala just because, but that shows you how the strength is in between Democrats and Nikki Haley, if you're just wondering. She definitely is not a Donald fan there. We also, and we'll get this posted, I was going to talk to Terry here in just a little bit, but we do know that a car was stolen last night. A car was involved in an accident. It was towed to Lewis Wrecker, and overnight last night, around midnight, somebody cut the fence and stole the car, a 2020 Chevrolet Equinox. Lauderdale County plates, LAF 601. Has damage on the front end, and they're still driving it. Stolen. Man alive. So
It's wrecked and stolen.
Yeah, we'll get that up here in just a little bit, and then put the tag number with it here right after the show is over, so you'll be able to look for this. But be on the lookout.
Yeah.
Equinox 2020 model. Scotty Ray and Odie, already 10 minutes into the hour.
Dang, it doesn't take long.
We'll tell you about the shooting and all that took place last night. It happened right here in Meridian. We'll tell you all about it and how many rounds were fired and what we know up and coming.
The Preserve at Meridian is the premier senior living community in the Meridian area, offering independent living cottages, assisted living, and maintain their independence and pursue an engaging lifestyle with a robust activities calendar, personalized care programs, wellness activities, restaurant-style dining, and much more. Call or visit us online today at preserveatmeridian.com to schedule your personal tour.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, Over the phone or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie. Gunfire would break out last night. Let me show you the map here so you fully understand where. Odie, this is Highway 19. This is behind Nick and Al's up in here. Village Apartments, which is really directly behind Tractor Supply. Right there. Gunfire would break out. We would soon learn that, well, we had somebody hit as we would get to the scene. And let me show you this picture here. This is how it looked last night there. Look at all the police cars.
Wow.
Now, if you want to watch the live video, we've also got that here on the page. You can scroll back and look at this. This is what it looks like here. And I'll turn it off to where you won't have all the talk from last night. But as we were walking up on the scene here, it was car after car on this hill. But you can go back and watch what we saw as this was unfolding last night. Now, while we were there, we just knew that one person was shot. 2 people were shot, one more serious than the other. They were both transported for help. One would later pass away. Our condolences goes out to the family members on this. This is just not good anyway. This makes Meridian second homicide of the year. Now, do we know what sparked this? I do not. I'm being told by witnesses that were on the scene that there were somewhere around 100 rounds fired. Now, that's a lot. Now, I do know, as we saw, car after car in the parking lot struck with bullets. The building was struck with bullets, and it was just a spray. Now, I do know, I haven't got an official statement on this, but I can tell you this with pretty good indication that there were more than one person involved, strictly because there were casings from several different calibers of guns on the ground. So that tells us that it was at least 2, possibly 3 people involved. Hopefully we'll get a number on this. They've talked to witnesses by now, I'm sure. It's still early into the investigation. We do know that. And I do understand that they can only give certain information, but we would like a little bit more information from the Meridian Police Department dealing with this. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. It's amazing that people inside their homes were not struck.
And more people losing their life because of the bullets that were just sprayed out. I've got my black shirt on today because I mourn for those families and I mourn for our city.
Absolutely.
We have got to do something now. That's one life, and that's one life too many that we lost yesterday.
Now, we had our first death in February. This March the 2nd. But as I was live last night, Odie, you can attest to this. This year, although we've only had, let me back up. That's not the way to say this. We've had 2 murders this year. But the amount of gunfire that we've had in the city surpasses years past. Because I track all of this stuff, who, what, why, and how many times things go on. We're having more activity. We've had less stuff hit, but a lot more activity this year. This is leading up to something worse, in my opinion, in the coming months if something isn't done quickly to, what's the word, to divert, stop, whatever the word I'm looking for, to stop this crime. We don't
just
want
let it
anymore.
run rampant. It's just going to continue to grow.
And as we've said, we've got roughly 4 locations as we look at this, as we look at Meridian. Let me pull this map back up. Here's an overview of Meridian. Honestly, Highway 19 has now become the #1 place for activity. This is 19, and this is really still involved in this area #1. Right up here is where all this happened, right there. We have a lot of shootings here, and then right here is where all this happened last night. And you get into this area here on Highway 39, #2. that is just serious. And then, of course, we've got several other locations that are rough at this point. We'll track all of this and keep you up to date on it. But we do need prayer. And when I say we need prayer, it means pray for those who will do more to stop this. You got to step up, and that's where we're at on this. So that went on over the weekend. Last night, this would happen somewhere around 8:30ish, I believe. I was up till about 11:30 putting this all together last night. Just bad that it even happened there. We did have other things go on. We had a car fire last night right after that on the interstate. As we go here to take a look, they would respond to this on I-20 around mile marker 121. Chunky would respond to that and help put that fire out. The family got out of the car. No one was hurt. That's what we like there.
Good deal.
I'm glad no one was injured in that. Lots to do. There's that picture there. Let me just show that. This is just going back to there. Look at the amount of police that are there. And now it lined the streets as well.
It is just a shame that our city has turned out the way it has.
It has.
Your loved ones are losing their life over something that.
Yeah, we don't know why.
Don't know why, but there's some people out there that know who did this. And that grieving family that just lost that member. Oh my gosh, my prayers go out to y'all.
But as we say that, and y'all put this in perspective, let's say that you were sitting there and you saw those people jump out and do this hideous crime. They're scared of them. And they're scared to call the police because they're afraid that those people would come back after them. And I understand that. You can make anonymous phone calls and not tell who you are. You can tell us. We'll be glad to handle it.
That's right. And Crime Stoppers.
Yeah.
There's no name. There's no nothing. If you don't want to call 911, you don't want to do the 311, you don't want to call local police, call Crime Stoppers. There's no way to track you. The information needs to get out. They're not going to let out who you are.
No, they're not going to ever tell that.
But that information, if you know, the only way that we're going to stop this is if people stand up and get rid of the ones who are causing this.
Now, also in the state of Mississippi, we had another issue yesterday. Stone County, Mississippi. Now, let me pull this up and show you this headline. Here's Stone County. This is Hattiesburg. It'd be due south of there on Highway 49. We don't have a lot of details, but it looked as almost every available state trooper was on scene there yesterday.
Wow.
It could have started out as a hostage situation. We do know that a deputy was injured and 2 suspects are dead. That's all we have at this point. More information on that is going to come out today. We don't know if they were trying to rob the store, if it was something else, but it was at a Dollar General there in Perkinston, Mississippi. First time I'd ever heard of that name.
Yeah.
The first report of it.
County's it, but not.
Yeah. The first report somebody sent me said, hey, I'm on 49 and I just got passed by a lot of cops. And I said, I think the town is Perkins. And I couldn't find a Perkins, and I dug deeper and it was Perkinston. They were real close of it, but it was lots of law enforcement involved in that yesterday afternoon. So hopefully we'll find out more information on that up and coming here in a little bit. Don't forget, we're going to be giving away one of these, Odie.
It is not going to be long.
Woo-hoo.
Your Scotty Ray Report, Lauderdale Meridian coffee mug. And we've got Miss Norma Rose. I go to church with her.
She
celebrated 85 Friday, and we didn't get her name put on.
Ooh, happy birthday, girl.
So we've got another one, Mr. Owen Alexander. Not just a special birthday.
Yeah.
But he entered the world yesterday.
Wow. So we got us a birth.
So we got us a birth, our first birth on here. And then Byron said that he wants to wish happy anniversary to his wife, Karen Bethany. So I don't know how many years it is, but happy anniversary to y'all. So we've got those. And somebody put on here, when are we going to get the Scotty Ray coffee cups? They should be ready, getting close to the end of the week. We should be getting them in. So just hang tight. They're coming.
All righty. More on the way with Scotty Ray and Odie.
Downtown Meridian is thriving with a fresh look, and now it's getting a new neighbor. Toyota of Meridian is now open under new hometown leadership. We're bringing automotive knowledge and experience home with a focus on improved customer satisfaction and all new pricing. Toyota of Meridian is excited to serve the Queen City and exceed your expectations.
I'm Trinard Rush, and I want to invite you to Toyota Meridian, where hometown pride drives excellence.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn. You know, Odie, before long, it's going to be Easter before we know it. It's at the end of March this year instead of into April. I think it's like the 29th, if I'm not mistaken.
We're getting pretty close today.
And if you look around today and you think something strange, well, it's spring break. Kids are out. People are taking vacation. There's a lot of people that went to Disneyland. There's a lot of people that have gone to the coast to be on the beach. A little nippy for me, but this spring break thing ought to be moved forward a couple weeks till we get warmer weather, I think.
Ain't that the truth?
But that's what's going on there, if you notice a less amount of people. Now, this would happen, I believe this was Saturday night, as we would find out that a car had been in an accident over by McDonald's and Trucker's Supply right there where you turn to go up to Sam's. Let's take a few looks at this. Here's the car upside down, Odie.
Yeah.
Look at this. That is not quite a minivan, but it's an SUV of some sort, as we see the police on the scene of what's going on there. And that's what they look like upside down.
Yeah, that's the part you don't want to see.
That's right. If you see in that's an SUV, a Toyota.
SUV, yeah.
Not a minivan. But I spoke with a family. They were okay. Now, it should have been an Elvis Presley song being played. I'm all shook up. Mm-hmm. But they were okay. But let's go back and look at this. We had a guy named Duke Moore that happened to be at the red light, Odie, and captured the entire event as it went down there. So let's take a look at this and pull this up. Here we go. This is sitting at the red light. And that is how fast a wreck can happen. Look at this one more time. Here we go. And then slam. And just that little bit of a bump to the rear of a car will flip it. Again, fortunately, they're okay. But that was a mess as we look at that. So be cautious. And always remember this at red lights. When the red light turns green, don't take off. Look both ways before you mash the gas, because there's always somebody that's, halfway in between that getting through the red light, and we don't want you to get hit by any means. That happens a lot on Highway 39 and North Hill Street. If you take off from those side streets from that thing, somebody could be almost all the way through it. So we don't want that happening there.
You could say somebody had the right of way, but then you could also turn around and say, that was what we call avoidable.
That's correct.
And that doesn't look good on anybody's insurance.
Hey, we have to say a big thank you to Officer Joe this weekend, as he was captured. I had some ladies send this in. They said, this was such a nice officer. As we pulled this up, he was helping a lady put together a car seat. Sometimes it is hard to maneuver and get those seat belts in there just right. And he helped out with that. So we appreciate Joe helping out the folks there of getting that straightened out. Now, we had another incident this weekend that we want to talk about as we talk about water. And we got another chance of this coming up this weekend of flash flooding. This would involve, a funeral home. Let's just go ahead and call it the way it is. Let's go here. That is a van that hydroplaned was thrown off into the water. Now, at first we thought the driver hit that and went for help, and they weren't there when the police discovered it. Everybody was okay, but look at that. That's how quickly you can be in the water.
It doesn't take long, and it was up in there farther. Meridian Fire Department, Engine 4 and Rescue 1 got on scene and actually went out there, and because you didn't know if anybody was inside that vehicle or not. So they made a dash for the vehicle to make sure everybody was okay if someone was in that truck, in that van. So kudos to Engine 4 Rescue 1 for going out there and making sure that if someone was in there, they'd be took care of.
Absolutely.
Get that out.
Boy, and you just don't think of water making you go off the road that far.
Yeah.
Could have been a lot worse. Now, what I urge you today is take it slow because there's going to be a lot of potholes. There's a lot of roads that haven't been traveled because it was the weekend after this flooding. Today, you're going to come around a curve. I noticed one on Barn Hill Road that I was tracking. Huge hole. You will knock your car out of alignment, at least, if not trying to dodge it, have an accident. So be careful, drive a little bit slower there as you go about your ways. And there was so much, even the Weather Channel contacted us about using pictures to show how much water Meridian, Mississippi got. It wasn't just random, it was everywhere. Here's a chunky road. Let's look at this, Odie.
Yeah.
Look at that. Gone. And it's the roads less traveled are going to be worse than this. Meadows.
That was a dirt road, but that could still happen on a paved road, and you wouldn't know it until you got up on it. And that's when your front end falls off into a gully that's been washed out. Yes, that happens on dirt roads, but that also happens on paved roads because the roads wash out and you don't know. So that's why we say turn around, don't drown.
Now, I'm not sure. Maybe this has happened before at crossroads flooding. I've just never paid attention. But look
I don't
at this.
remember it that high.
Look at this. This is halfway through the wheel.
Yeah.
Here, and this is over by the AT&T store is where this is. There's Hobby Lobby. Look how much water we've got there. Look
I
at
don't
that.
remember it being quite that high.
That's high. And it was going in the storefronts there.
Yep. I don't remember that.
Look at there's a clear.
Close, but yeah, it was pretty deep over there.
Man, oh man, oh man. And again, this is forecasted late Thursday into Friday into the weekend coming up. Now, we're going to have the forecast tweaked in between now and the weekend. So just keep in mind this is coming back. And if you've got an area that constantly gets wet like it, might want to go ahead and put some sandbags up by your door.
Yeah, if you have a neighborhood that does, contact someone to get some sandbags to get them filled, get them put out around your property, because we do have it again. Everything's saturated. It's not going to dry out between now and then too much. So a lot of that water is going to shed off. It's not going to absorb into the ground. So we're going to have some more flash flooding. It will be here.
And I don't know what to tell you about the meadows. That was what the Weather Channel was interested in, was the meadows in that neighborhood. Totally underwater.
And it's every single time.
Yeah, and so more, and you're right, Arnold, insurance doesn't cover a lot of this. If you don't have actual flood insurance on your home, it does not cover it.
That's exactly right.
And a lot of people learn that the hard way. Like, I don't have it because it doesn't flood here. But what would happen if it did? It would, I guess it'd be on my nickel, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So if you want to be extra careful, go ahead. If your insurance policy doesn't cover that, look into that.
And you don't have to be in a flood zone to get the insurance.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Odie. There are certain areas that you cannot, you can't buy insurance, flood insurance for flood zones, can you?
Oh, yes.
You can?
Yes. And you must buy flood insurance if you live in a flood zone to even have a mortgage. If you live in a flood zone, you have a mortgage, and you do not have insurance, your bank or carrier can turn around and say, you owe me lump sum right now.
So you have to cover it.
So
Okay.
you have to cover that. Now, there's some places that you have to build up high. You can't be sitting on the ground. You have to be on
guess I
stilts
had
or something.
the coast in my head of, I don't think you can even get insurance down there, can you?
Oh, yeah, you can. Now, it ain't cheap.
I imagine not.
But that's why the flood insurance is going to go by the surge. So that's 12 foot. Well, you got to build 12 foot off the ground. Insurance going to run you $30,000 a year.
Arnold said an extra $3,000 a year. And that's probably a good guesstimation as to what it could cost you there.
Do not go upon, my house is not in a flood zone. because just because it says it's not in a flood zone doesn't mean it's not. It means one of two things. One, you're not in a flood zone, or two, FEMA has not looked at and evaluated that area.
Well, it's like when I lived in Scuba, when I bought my house, it was not a flood zone, and when I sold it, it had been
FEMA
revamped.
comes in and does that.
And we
They
were
say,
at the close, and I was like, do what?
Yep.
We didn't know that. And so the person buying the house had to quickly get insurance to cover it to make the deal go through.
That's the bad thing.
That was shocking. Scotty Ray and Odie, already 7:30. We got a lot more to talk about. Local news, headlines, all right here. We'll be right back.
Fantasy Cottage Floral and Gifts is located in downtown Quitman, directly across the street from the post office. They are your one-stop shop for all of your floral, a fully stocked gift shop to roses, mixed flower arrangements, and plants. Whether it be a special occasion or just because, remember them in your time of need for all of your funeral floral arrangements. Call on Fantasy Cottage Floral and Gifts at 601-776-3010.
Your next appliance is waiting on you at All Temp Appliance and Refrigeration on Highway 19 North. If you've been trying to locate a freezer, drop by and see their big selection of upright and chest freezers. A showroom full of stoves, gas, and electric. Maybe it's a new refrigerator, from large double doors to the simplest of refrigerators. Name brand washers and dryers like Speed Queen, Amana, and delivery is available, with a great service department to back up what they sell. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m., and by appointment after hours and weekends. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie. It is Monday morning, believe it or not. About 42 now as we warm up for high, somewhere around 64 before it's all said and done. Nice weather in store for us. You might be able to wear a short sleeve. There's a few of us that will still want a jacket. Mr. Short Sleeve there. Matter of fact, I went to a scene of an incident this weekend, and another one of those times that I was got the call and I had to grab a shirt and run, and it was a short sleeve shirt, and somebody drove up to me and said, "You don't look right. Go home and get you a long sleeve shirt."
Hey, you're out of uniform.
I was. As we go back, let's go back in time now to see what happened in history. I believe this guy was first, and Curly would come along later. Anybody remember the Three Stooges? Well, once upon a time, there was a guy named Shemp that was also one of the Three Stooges. Do you remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Shemp, Larry, and Moe. But Larry, Moe, and Curly just is more popular.
Yeah, that stuck.
Wasn't he one of wasn't he before Curly, am I right?
I think so. I think he was an original.
Yeah, he was born on this date back in 1895. Those guys were funny, and God bless them, they just didn't get any rights after the show. Their families would be filthy rich now if they got rights paid.
Ooh,
And it just didn't.
Wow.
Come on, let me hear you do a 1, a 2, and a 3.
I tell you, I can't. Oh,
It was not
makes
your
my
show.
skin crawl just the thought of it.
We're going to buy you the DVD set so you can relive those moments there. Lars Sewell, born on this date back in 1903.
I think I found one at Mama's house. I don't need another.
Big band music, I guess. Is that what you would call it? And this was popular through most of the 70s. Somehow. He'd take that little wand and just to go all over television. Y'all want to know why it was a hit? Because you didn't have a choice.
You got
watched
that
it or
right.
you
We
didn't.
had to watch. We didn't have but 3 channels.
So that's how Lawrence became a superstar. In today's world, it wouldn't happen that way.
Yeah.
All right, as we go back to 1952, I remember it was the Bradford Family. I can remember watching it. There was a little bitty guy on there.
Yeah.
Don't remember his name. This is the girl that was on there, Susan Richardson. She's all grown up now. She was a cast member of that. She was one of the sisters there. Born in 1952. Did you watch that show?
Some of it because Charlene watched it. So I was there again. We didn't have TVs everywhere.
They always were doing
So I
a
was
pyramid or
stuck.
something in the yard. Was this the answer to everybody wanting the Brady Bunch back and they thought 8 is enough would do it?
Maybe that's what it was.
I watched it some. It was not a regular of mine that I watched each week, but it was on. We did see it there. 1955, there was a guy born. He would later grow up to replace Lou DeWitt. And you go, well, who is Lou? Well, he was a member of the Statler brothers. Johnny Cash found these old boys and let him open up his show. He employed them. They were paid by cash. Well, Jimmy eventually would replace Lou. Jimmy Fortune, that's that guy right there, who done the lead on More Than a Name on a Wall. Many of you will remember that song.
Well, I tell you, you can't beat them.
No, good guys. But I have to be ready for it because a lot of it's depressing. You got to get your mind. You got to really be focused when you listen to someone. Susan, when she tried, whoo, Lordy, I'll go to my grave loving you. That good stuff there. 1968. This would be the first time, Odie, this would ever happen. We would have an artist lose his life, and then after they lost their life, their song would shoot to number one.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's right. I've heard this said a lot. Hank done this too. Maybe it was on the rock and roll side, because Hank, I'll Never Get Out of This World Alive, shot to number one after he died. But Otis, it was not even released, and they released it, and it went Sitting on the Dock of the Bay.
Sitting on the dock of the
That's just
bay.
a catchy song.
Oh, it is.
And it has gone down in the history books as one of the greatest songs ever there. But Otis Redding, I like that. And if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't it a plane crash that got him also?
I'd be lying if I said so.
And I think that's what happened there. Maybe y'all can remember that. This guy, as you've mentioned before, makes the headlines quite a lot. It was March 11th, a little less conversation. Y'all remember that? The shocking part is the guy that wrote it. And, of course, we've all sang along to several of his songs. And, well, one of them was, "Oh, Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way." Mac Davis actually wrote Elvis Presley's A Little Less Conversation.
Huh.
Yeah, there you go. Do you know the song?
I do.
Okay, just making sure there. Checking in with Odie. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
If I know, it's got to be known.
As we go back to 1963, this was huge. I think the Beatles, didn't they do this?
Act natural.
All I got to do is act naturally. Ringo, maybe?
Sure.
Buck Owens took it to number one back in 63 there. That was a huge song. You're going to make a man in the movies, and all I got to do is act naturally.
Act naturally.
About a man that's brokenhearted. That's the story of a lot of folks. 1970. This is just not my type of an actor. I'm going to go thumbs down.
Well, he made money and made a name for himself by doing stupid stuff.
Correct, he did. That show that I won't even say the name of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another way to word it. And he would also be the demise of the Dukes of Hazzard. Johnny Knoxville.
Exactly right. Yep.
He born on this day in 71. His type of humor, funniness is mostly dirty. Let me just go ahead and
It is that.
kind of filthy there.
Yeah.
Just saying. 1974.
Now
Let's
this
bring
kid-
humor to it.
Don't look at the...
There you go. It was March 11th that he went into the studio and done this famous song, Boogie Dad, Boogie Dad. And he ain't wearing no clothes.
It's me again, Margaret.
Ray Stevens. There's just one Ray Stevens. There's no other way to word it.
Oh, when that squirrel went berserk.
In the First Righteous Church.
Oh, man. Pascagoula, Mississippi.
And the list goes on and on of Santa Claus is watching you, baby. It's all
He
over.
everywhere. He everywhere.
That's right. Love me some Ray Stevens. And then, of course, he had a couple of straightforward songs. Misty, that was a big one. Everything is Beautiful.
He sure did.
Yeah. Let's see here. Airport, 1977. Did you ever watch that?
Can't
It was a
remember if I
string
watched
of
that or
Airport
not.
79, Airport. It was a bunch of them there. It was about a disaster. It was more funny when they started making fun of them. Airplane movies. Do y'all remember those?
Now,
With
those
Leslie?
I really loved.
Roger.
Roger. Hey, Shirley. Call me Shirley.
Oh, I picked the wrong day to quit sniffing glue.
Yeah. Even the blow-up co-pilot had a cigarette.
Yeah, that was funny. She's horsing around, and then it showed a horse in the picture. You get, and we all know how it is sometimes when you're trying to walk into a business and they're asking for donations. Do you remember how airports used to be?
Oh, man.
Where all of them were begging for money and handing pamphlets, and he was fighting his way to get in?
I hated flying. That was the worst airport to me, was O'Hare in Chicago. They were everywhere. I was finding every time I got into an airport, I'm like, where's the USO? I'm getting out of here. I'm finding me a place to sit. I couldn't deal with it. Yeah, they were everywhere.
Takes you back. Back in 1977, as that movie was coming out, Merle Haggard also happened to have a hit, and it was called If We're Not Back in Love by Monday. He's going to move on is what was going to happen. And he did.
And he did.
Except she hung around forever. Bonnie Owens is who I'm talking about.
Ooh.
You know, he took her from Buck, and then he got a divorce from her, and then she stayed in the band and stared at him for the rest of his life. Alimony, child support.
Give me that check.
I don't know if anybody remembers this. As we go back to 78, Jimmy Carter was president of the United States. Ooh. They even come out with a beer called Billy Beer, if you remember.
I remember that.
Because his brother drank a lot.
Yep.
But they also tried to make a TV show out of this, and it was called Carter Country. Anybody remember that? Didn't say it was a hit. I just said that, well, it was on TV. Carter Country.
You know, he used to be the worst president.
Yeah,
but now he's
that's
not.
changed.
Yeah, he's so bad.
Jimmy. And, you know, and Jimmy's still going. He may have had his issues as a president, but as a person, he is a good man.
You can't beat him.
He does so many humanitarian things. He just gave away a few things and, well, didn't really know a whole lot about that office. It's okay.
I mean, he teaches Sunday school.
Oh, yeah.
And people are invited. You can go sit in. Now, you had to pass all these background checks, but...
Well, it's over now. You know, he's on hospice now.
Yeah, so he's
But
not
he did
doing
it up
that
until last year.
for a long time. I mean, that was after, I guess he felt bad about giving away the canal. Oh, yeah, we don't need it.
Take it back. We spent billions. It's okay. 1985, this old girl will be on the cover of People magazine. She's still out there at 65 doing concerts. Who am I talking about? Madonna.
Yeah.
Like a Virgin is the first time we heard of her, and, well, it went from there to everywhere. Madonna. 1989, it was one of the longest running TV shows until everything got canceled during COVID and all of that.
Somebody's dress got ruffled.
They did. Cops made its TV debut in 1989. It was a pretty good show.
It was a pretty good show.
You got to ride along with the men and women of law enforcement.
And now they do it again.
It's back, isn't it?
It's not called Cops. It's called something else, but same thing. And now they went and got a little bit heftier with it. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're in a control room. They got like 8 shows going on at once. Now they everywhere.
From every city.
Oh, yeah.
Neato.
Yeah, y'all didn't do anything, but what y'all normally do, you think you've crushed something, which
and it comes back
brought
bigger.
it back bigger than it was.
Patrol Live is the name of it.
Patrol Live. On Patrol Live, yeah.
And I don't know who wrote that, but that Bad Boys, is that not when you think of Cops, that's the song that you hear. Mm-hmm. 1995 on paper is really a long time ago now. In my head, it's a couple weeks ago. We go back for George Strait, and you can't make a heart love somebody. Whew. George just did it. He was the man. As we go back to 06, and again, 06 doesn't sound that long ago. He was number 1, Josh Turner, with All I Want to Be Is Your Man.
You know, not talking about how long ago something is. You ever fill stuff out online and it comes down to your birthday and you put that in, and then you've got that wheel over there that's got the year on it and you have to just keep strolling?
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, well, there we go. You know.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I was trying to order truck parts the other night, and I was...
you can feel the wind off that thing when you try to get down to your age.
2020, this old boy would go to jail. He was sentenced for 23 years. Probably wasn't long enough. Harvey Weinstein sentenced. Now, do I think he'll spend 23 years in jail? I absolutely do not. I think he'll get out on good behavior after everybody's had a little time to let it pass.
After people forget.
They do.
Yeah.
Scotty Ray and Odie, we'll be right back with more birthdays and more things going on this morning.
Battery power made by steel. Right now, save $50 on select AK System battery tool sets. Real STIHL. Find yours.
Advanced Auto Glass by Joey can handle all your windshield repair and replacement needs. Service work is guaranteed and covered by warranty. Our technicians are professional, auto glass trained, and have over 100 years of combined experience. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey utilizes in-house calibrations for vehicle safety systems. Most insurances are accepted, and reliable mobile service is available in surrounding areas. Keep cars cool and secure with custom tinting, side mirror replacement, and AquaPel windshield wipers. There's one clear choice in auto glass repair. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Oh, and that says we got to talk again.
Oh,
Odie,
it's
there.
us again.
It is. Let's talk about wrecks that happen during rain. Let me show you just a few of the things that have gone on in the neighborhood. Let's go out to I-20. Look at this. Our car off in the bushes, and let's get a closer look at this. Look at the. If somebody had been sitting there, Odie, it would have been bad news.
It really would have. The amount of water that is on that stretch right through there, and there's a little bump. You come over a little hill. It's not a fun ride.
No, absolutely not. Let's take another look. Here we go here. This is going to be also I-20. Look at this wreck. I got some major damage going on there.
Yeah, that one's total.
Lost Gap right there, as you'll see there in the background. There's the truck stop in the distance there. Is that one happened there? Mississippi Highway Patrol and a whole bunch of other folks showed up on the scene to tell us about that one. Now, let's go back out there. A few hours later, we've got another one.
Yeah.
This was this week. Look at this right here, Odie.
Man.
That 18-wheeler went sideways, hit the guardrail is what caused all that damage and delayed traffic for quite some time. Traffic was backed up.
And it was hard to get to this site because there was another wreck westbound right outside Lost Gap. So you couldn't get westbound, and then you were stuck eastbound because of that wreck, and it was not easy. You had to go down Highway 80, go through Chunky, and then come back and try and contraflow down to where you had to be. It was really hard to get to, and it was not easy to get to or quickly.
Now, I'm going to play you something. This has got sound, and we'll come on after it. Everybody loves their pups. Yep. I'm crazy about Elliot. I'm crazy about Miss Sophie. Well, Miss Tammy sent us in this video of her pup who went out to use the bathroom. Problem is, don't like to get his feet wet. So, well, he's got shoes.
He's got him some little water boots.
Let's take a look at this, Odie. I'm going to hit play so you can see this. Now, I don't care who you are, that's cute.
that is. Dog won't want to go outside because of wet feet. Well, we can remedy that.
I wonder how it was putting the the shoes on.
Yeah, the first time was probably a doozy.
We haven't looked at this, but just a few of these pictures that came in, and there's tons of them that you can scroll back. Look at this as we look at the storm clouds rolling. Those are shelf clouds, is that what that's called?
Yeah, that'd be a shelf cloud. Beautiful, scary, beautiful though. But that right there,
whoa,
man!
As you look at that picture.
Yeah,
that one even looks more wicked.
It does.
It's like it's coming to gobble us up. And it's just countless pictures that were rolling in Friday as these storms made it to the area.
You can see the power that's in these storms.
Look at this one. Look at that. That's Philadelphia is where that is. That's the courthouse in Philadelphia. I don't know why those pictures turned out small. It's just, it's amazing what God can do with this, isn't it?
It really is.
Man. But it just looks like it's like aliens coming in to grab you. Yeah. But beautiful all at the same time, isn't it?
It is. It's beautiful. But you can see the power. You can feel the power. Scary, but at the same time, very beautiful.
Now, as we go to our next story, as we had rain coming in and lots going on, there was an alert that went out. A bolo, a stolen car had been taken from Texas, and it was spotted in the Meridian area. What happens? Well, the Lauderdale County deputies spring into action. It would be around mile marker 165, Odie, that we would go out before they had a little incident and ran off the road. As we go here to our headlines to the Scotty Ray report there, these two were running from the law. Tiffany Parker, 26, of Shelbyville, and Elizabeth Barton, both she's also 27 there. This would wreck at 165 eastbound near the Tumsuba exit. They would both are going to be extradited back to Shelby County, Texas, to face the charges that they've got there.
Ooh, they look kind of rough, and I thought I had a cow leg.
Yeah, yeah, I don't even know. They don't give you a lot of time to spruce up for your mugshot.
Yeah, I reckon.
I got and this weekend I got a message from somebody that told me I should be ashamed for posting somebody's mugshot. If you break the law and the law sends us your mugshot and says you're wanted, we're going to post it. We didn't break the law. They did in some shape, form, or way. The law wouldn't be after. If there's ever a mistake, the law enforcement agency will call us back and go, hey, we want to revoke that. We'll make an apology for the police department. That ain't happened. Again, if you end up on a police report, we show it. I've shown my own family. We'll do that as long as we continue to do this.
Arnold said, Bonnie and Clyde. No, that's Bonnie and Bonnie.
That's correct, Bonnie and Bonnie. Let's go back and take a look there. It's Bonnie and Bonnie. There you go. You never know what rolls through on that interstate. We got one of the busiest interstates that there ever is.
I need to get a new Bonnie and Clyde.
Like that. There you go.
I need to get another count. Exactly how many cars that come through.
It's unreal.
Meridian, Lauderdale County. It is unreal. Two major interstates come together right here. But now I tell you, busy on the roadway, covered with water, now a waterway. Who is it that's out there protecting everybody?
It's our chief deputy in Clark County.
Ooh.
Come rain, come sleet, nor snow, he's still going to go.
I like that.
Yeah,
Harold wasn't with him.
No, he couldn't fit
Harold
the boat.
said, I ain't getting out of here.
Chief Deputy Barry White in the boat. He was actually going to rescue somebody, wasn't he?
Yeah, somebody drove, don't know what happened, drove through a flooded street. And
Car got swept away.
Car got swept away, and so here they go, Enterprise Fire and Rescue and Chief Deputy White.
Does he just pull that boat behind him all the time? I've just never noticed it.
I think Enterprise has got that ready to go, probably. That's a good group of people over there. We work with them trying to build up more water rescue stuff with them and Clark County. We have a great working relationship with Clark County.
Absolutely there. I did, let's see, two Lucedale men were arrested for shooting death of a Jack at a bar. Two folks arrested there. We're also getting word this morning that the former sheriff of Wayne County, Jody Ashley, has been arrested for a DUI. If I'm not mistaken, this could allegedly be the second time that this has happened. Allegedly. So we'll see how this turns out, but arrested for DUI over the weekend. We'll see what becomes of that also there.
Wow.
Pretty serious charge there to have that put on you there. Let's see what else happened. Winston County, we pass along condolences to Winston County as we find out that we lost a life. A lady lost control of her car during this weather, flipped and hit a tree, and she has lost her life. We pass along condolences to that. This happened late Friday during all of that weather. Oh, boy. Now, Bob made a comment there that I want to comment on. Bob said they needed to make a glass buster for you in your car when you're in an incident. Let me tell you, I don't know if you saw this headline or not. Somebody that was, I think it was Kenda, was it Mitch McConnell? A lady drowned in her car. She went off, and I think she was Kenda Mitch McConnell, who is the Republican guy.
Yeah.
She had a Telsa. If you've heard us talk about these bulletproof windows that they've got in them, she couldn't break the glass to get out when the car rolled off into the lake. And you think about that. You'll see it on the movies where people swim up to the cars underwater and they shatter the glass. With certain things, you give and take, and that's horrible.
You're not.
Now, is it his fault, the design of the car? No, but keep that in mind.
And if you come up on a car you're trying to bust it, hitting it right in the middle is not going to do it. You got to get down in the corner.
Is that how you do it?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I'm glad you said that.
You sit there with your fist if you want to. It's not going to happen. But definitely in a regular car, get you something. They make a little deal that you can keep in your car that will cut the seat belt. It's got a little metal tip that you can break the window. Keep that with you at all times inside your car in case you need it.
We're going to have to do some demonstrations with Odie of him breaking glass.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. This thing keeps growing. We need to go over some birthdays real quick.
Who do we got coming in?
Some more coming in a minute. So we've got Caitlin Lancaster, 29 years old. Andrew Bateman's had a birthday. Billy Humphrey is 69 years old today.
Go, Billy.
Margaret Pritchard, a young 90.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Mike Vick is having a birthday today. I wonder if he's going to cut his hair.
Mike? No.
Okay.
No, I don't think he is.
Charlie Smith, that's my buddy, Mr. Smith, 82 years old. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
He watched me raised up. Whew, poor fella. Joshua Russell's got a birthday. Phoenix, I almost said that wrong. Alderson is having his first birthday. And Gary and Jean Byler, 30-year anniversary.
We're going to give away a coffee mug coming up here in just a moment.
Yeah.
Y'all don't rush off. We'll be right back.
Spring is finally here, and at Paris Kubota, we currently have just under 500 mowers in stock. Z-Series 42-inch for only $43.99 cash or around $86 a month, and we're offering free delivery and pickup. And did you know for only $4 a month, you can also add a Husqvarna handheld to your deal? Come see us, Meridian. We've moved to our new location, 2401 Jimmy Rogers Parkway. Stop by in and find you one of these great deals.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Rockhouse Gun & Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North, is ready for spring. From weed eaters to push and riding lawnmowers, and one of the largest selections you'll find in chainsaws, along with power tools and generators for backup power. Maybe you're in the market for a TV or maybe a guitar. And not to mention a large selection of diamond rings and Louis Vuitton purses. The Rockhouse Gun & Pawn even has a private lobby for your pawns for confidentiality. Visit them today, Highway 19 North, Rockhouse Gun & Pawn. Oh, Jack and Becky Brown, 45 years of marriage.
Ooh.
Holy, Jack, bless you is all because I know Becky personally. Bless you.
45.
No wonder that man always stayed out there cutting meat all the time. 45 years of that.
And I got a correction.
Okay, who we got?
So it's Caitlin Stevens, who's 29.
All right, happy birthday to you.
So make sure you give us the whole name, and we won't have to make one up for you.
There you go.
Because I'll do that in a heartbeat.
I saw this, Odie, and honesty is the best policy. If something makes a mistake, be honest about it. It's going to land somebody in jail. Now, we go to Nebraska, and you know how this wasn't Walmart, I don't think. It was a different type store, but a similar situation. You know how you go in and you buy your gas card and you get X amount off at the pump?
Yeah.
Well, they had like a rewards program, and the lady buys one, and if you were to stick the card in twice and pull it out, somehow or another, you weren't charged for your gas. She kept going back and going back until she had gotten $28,000 worth of fuel over the course of a year.
Wow.
But she figured it out of how to do that. How, I don't know, but
How'd you stumble across that?
Yeah. But she'll end up having to pay for that and probably jail time over doing such a thing as that. That's wrong.
Yeah, because you know it was wrong.
Because it's got all your information on that little card there, everything about you. Yeah. So they just type in your name and it shows every time that you purchase gas.
They just gave you a credit card for $28,000 balance.
Shit, look at this. 510 times she did it.
$28,000 over 6 months. You was filling everybody's car up. Says $45. Give me $35.
Something like that.
Yeah.
510 times. That's just bad news there. So anyway, that's the headlines from Nebraska. We don't get a lot out of Nebraska, but we thought we'd tell you what was going on there. Now everybody in Meridian's going to go try that trick and see if it works.
Well, that's kind of like if you want local news, that's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
And there are a few things out there. I mean, there's some places out there, if you want to hear about a busted beer vat over in Minnesota, you can find that around here too. But we're going to be local with some funny stuff.
Oh, there you go. All right, it's reached that time of day we need to give away the coffee mug. Odie, who's our big winner today?
We already over there?
Yeah, we're there.
I reckon so. Wow. So
as Odie gets his ducks in a row there.
The time just sneaks upon us. So let's see what we got. Woo! Mike Vick. Mike Vick will win a coffee cup from Meridian, Hyundai of Meridian.
There you go, Mike.
The Scotty Ray report. So, Mike, go by there and tell them you were the winner chicken dinner.
Congratulations on that.
Yes.
As we get ready to leave, I thought I'd bring this up. Madonna had one of those moments to where she had to go front row and back up. She was at a concert and she jumped on somebody for not standing up during her performance. You know where this is going, don't you?
In a wheelchair.
Yep. She apologized. But boy, you want to talk about feeling crunchy there for a moment. That was bad. Didn't Joe done that also? Where was that? Stand up
there, old Chuck. Stand up. Oh, my bad.
Chuck can't stand up. Oh, how? That'll make you want to crawl out of somewhere. That's cringy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us today. We want to say thank you for joining us and being a part of what we do every day. We'll be back tracking everything that happens over the next few hours into the daytime. We'll let you know if it happens locally. Join us, won't you? Here we go. And Odie, you going to say goodbye for us?
Well, you know I was, and I am, and we're going to.
Well, we'll do one tomorrow then.
We'll do one tomorrow because there again, I just was not ready for it.
Just keep in mind that, as always with us, keep Jesus Christ in your hearts and your prayers, and that's what leads us through it all. How many hours till we come back?
23. I've got to come up with this because Mark 16:15, he said to them, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation." And you'll always hear a little bit of Jesus right here.
Y'all have a great day.
Have a great day.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.